we've got this old doorknob lock mechanism that was brought to us with a beautiful glass knob. Now, the initial lock mechanism, which is here, it's a square, two square pieces that form one piece like that, and was threaded. A very funny size. I don't have a tab like that, so I'm gonna have to cut it on the lathe. But I'm gonna have to find a way how to hold these two pieces together in the lathe so that they don't move from each other and that they are at the right location. So what I'm building is a round piece of stock, of course, because that fits in the lathe. I gotta drill a hole through there and a set screw on the outside, and I can put this piece down right through it and then lock it. So that's what I'm attempting to do. Then once I got this device ready, I can start welding this up because the threads are really chewed apart. And that is the problem. The customer is complaining that the knob doesn't stay on. It keeps coming off. It's a beautiful thing. Here I have some of the other stuff. This is the brass lock. Look how nice. And here is the locking mechanism here, where this goes through, that knob. And then a beautiful brass handle. I want to believe that a lot of the stuff here is handmade. It's that old. So that's what we're going to attempt to repair. Now I have put that piece in the lathe and I have drilled a hole, and I believe I'm very close to the size that it needs to be. Now the funny part here is this piece, or these two pieces are, they're two pieces, right? So the funny part is I see there's another function with it. This was done with a lot of thought. So you can feed this piece with the lip through that hole and she can sit there. The other piece is actually, you can slide that right with it. I can't do that now because I'm holding the camera. But you can put this piece together and that will make it one. So to install it, that's a real genius way of doing it. But of course, very cumbersome to make it. Fit is so tight, as you can see. We've got this one here sticking out, but I'm already start tapping it with the hammer. So, and I'm doing this very lightly, not to damage anything. I tried to hold the camera and I'm trying to look at the piece. So, but she's going. Very slowly, so I'm going to play with this a bit and get this all lined up. And then once it's done, I'm going to take this piece out of here. I'm going to weld it with the TIG welder. I'm going to add material to all these four corners on this piece. And there you can see how it's going. And then we can start turning it in the lathe after we set the lathe properly so it does 20 revolutions and 1 inch travel. So that's what we're aiming for. It's a 3/8 by 20 pitch. So we have it tapped in together, and now we're going to see if this runs fairly true. I never moved this, I never took this out of the jaw. This is just a raw piece of round stock. So now let's see how true it runs. So I'm gonna have to turn the light on. Just turn it on. Well, I'm not disappointed. This works pretty good. So what I'm going to attempt now is the front. I'm going to weld that too. So these two pieces become one in the front. So later on I can file that off or grind that off. So now I have welded up the material on this piece. All four pieces, all four sides. So now I have to very carefully machine it first. So just in the lathe, turn it to the right diameter, then use a cutting tool to cut the thread and go from there. So That was quite delicate to do that. It's hard to see too, but I hope this is going to become something. Okay, so we cut the thread. If you can see it, I hope the phone will zoom in. There. Looks rough, but the threading is all on the corners, as you can see. And we already did the test. This knob, see the thread inside of it, fits on it. So I have to look at the knob, not at the camera. So there, look. How nice that threads. It is actually a good fit, like not too loose. This is great, it's grabbing pretty good. There, that's good. So I can just take this off. So we're not going to do anything more to it other than cleaning it up. That would even make it even more loose. But this is a success. Just careful, I don't want to damage anything. There, and look. The thread looks so clean because there was a bit of dirt in from all the filings from the old thread that were in it, but now it's all cleaned up. So this is going to be great. So we have ground the threads. It almost looks like a tab, doesn't it? Like a 4-flute tab. So that's what we come up with, because it has to look like that, square, because it has to fit through that square hole. And it just barely fits in that hole now. So mission accomplished. This is done. It will thread on the knob, and I can now take the set screw out, tap slightly these pieces one for one out, and we've got it done. Yeah, then I can phone the customer and say, I did manage to repair his old 19th century lock. So